Driving instructor. We're going to talk about driving anxiety and reducing risk. We all have anxiety. It depends on the situation that you're in. It varies. So driving is a process that you have to go through. And if you don't learn best practices or you have a traumatic experience, you're going to be going through this over and over in your mind. If you're driving heavy traffic and you got rear-ended, you might feel very uncomfortable. If you spun out on the expressway, when you go around a curve, you might get very nervous. If a tire blew out on a semi and you see patches of rubber on the expressway, that might make you very nervous. So it's really important that you understand that it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to push through anxiety. I'm going to share with you some things that I have seen during my experience as a state certified driving instructor to help you better analyze these situations and to help you get through this type of traumatic experience. The risk is the chance of death, injury, damage, or loss. We all take a risk once we get into our vehicle. Our car could run a light. You could have a blowout on the expressway. Someone cannot be paying attention and rear end you. Okay? So we all assume risk, but there are ways we can reduce those risks. Leave early for work. Wear your seatbelt. Drive at a reduced speed. If you're angry, emotional, or mad, take your time. You have to realize that we're all human and we all go through these traumatic experiences. 1 in 11 16-year-olds will have a serious crash before their 17th birthday. And I say that because if you wait till you're 17, 18, or 19 to learn how to drive, it takes about 10 years, right? If you're 17, that's 27. Okay, if you're 14, 9, that's 24, 9. You have to go through driving in snow. You have to go through driving in fog. You have to go through driving in rain. You have to go through rush hour or gridlock in downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago, Dallas, Texas. Each of these experiences will help you long term so when you know what to do, you don't panic, okay? For every 500 miles we drive, we make 200 observations. Okay? There's a lifetime of learning the processes to really be a good driver. And we all strive to be that good driver. What are some of the rewards? You get reduced insurance. Maybe you get a chance to buy a more expensive car that you always wanted to drive. So there are rewards. And if you're in high school or maybe in college, you could get a discount on your insurance because you maybe have good grades and you have a good driving record. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I have to have a good driving record because if I get tickets, I'm going to lose my endorsement. And why would I do that? Because I enjoy teaching people how to drive. It's very rewarding. So I share these experiences with you to mentor you. Consider me like your uncle, right? And I want to share these experiences, help you get through that fear and anxiety because we all have had this before, okay? Research indicates that errors in inexperience takes 10 years to learn how to drive, so 17 to 27, 16 to 26. If you learn how to drive fast, running lights, cutting off people, that's the type of behavior you're going to have when you're in your 20s. And most people get married in their 20s and now you have a child, right? You have that kid in the back seat. You're right around 2 or 3 years old. That little kid is watching you. Why is mom going so fast? Why is daddy using a bad word? Believe it or not, and then those of you who have younger siblings, they're watching you, right? If you're cutting off cars, speaking under your breath, when they're 15 or 16, they're going to say, that's how my brother drives. That's how my sister drives. That's how my dad drives. So you want to always practice safety, balance, and harmony, right? Approximately 20,000 or 1 in every 9 16 to 17-year-old drivers are involved in a serious crash. I've been in a serious crash. It wasn't my fault. We got broadsided, and it was an experience that I'll never forget. It was not my student's fault, but people run lights. A light is just a mechanical mechanism. It's not a big stop hand that says stop and can magically stop cars. Cars run lights. You always have to have that defensive mindset in mind. It's extremely important. 21 years old, drove before. I want to get over the fear of driving. Thank you for watching my videos. I definitely want to help you, and I want to have you, we'll reach out. I have a Google number. I'll put that in. I want to help you, and we'll talk. Email me, and I'll give you that Google number, and we can reach out and talk. Anything I can do to help, I will, because that's what it's about, helping people. And I really appreciate you supporting me, being active, and maybe my positive motivation can help you, because everyone is a little bit different. If you have a family member pushing you, you need to get your license. You need to get out there. We're tired of driving you around. You're just going to sit. You're not going to want to drive. You're not going to want to get out there. You need to find someone who's positive, who's going to give you that support. So if you're between 18 and upper 20s, you're going to go to the DMV. You're going to get something called a TIP. That's a temporary instruction permit. This allows you to drive for 30 days with someone who is licensed. You should be driving through neighborhoods. You should be driving on small thoroughfares, pulling out in traffic. Not a lot of pressure. I'm not talking about rush hour. I'm not talking about early in the morning. I'm not talking about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Every city is different. Downtown Detroit is different than Chicago. Chicago is different than Manhattan. So you have to build that confidence up, build that consistency up. If you have someone screaming at you, putting you down, oh, you're a baby. Oh, I don't know why you still rely on mom or dad. They're old. Everyone is different. Everyone goes through a different process. I taught a young lady, I'm not going to say her name. She left, she went to another state. She involved herself with a young man. She was in an abusive relationship. She never learned how to drive. I was blessed to help her, and she just got her license before COVID. So I'm blessed, and you never know what opportunities God will give you to help. So you stay connected to me. Please keep listening. Approximately 41 young drivers are involved in fatal crashes each year. It depends on the state. The bigger your state, the more young drivers you have driving. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, even though you're a little bit older, you're still considered a young driver or a beginning driver. And it takes a few years to learn how to pull out in downtown traffic, how to pull out from your subdivision, how to drive through your neighborhood when cars are backing up. How do you deal with neighborhood struggles? Hi, go ahead, put it right here. Hi, thank you. How do you deal with certain situations that will pop up? And when they come back, it'll be a surprise.
More stuff to give them, so I'll get the stuff.
It's all good.
Okay.
And it's all about gifts, and it's all about supporting people. When you support people, you get blessed in so many different ways. Failure to recognize hazards. If you're in heavy stop and go traffic, you got to reduce your speed. Okay, you have to learn how to drive in balance. Snowing outside, road is slippery. Why are you jerking the wheel and the car's going side to side? It's raining. You feel the car hydroplaning. Why are you going real fast? Well, the other cars are. You're going to spin out. It's at night. You barely can see. Maybe your headlights are old. After a couple years, your headlights lose their effectiveness. So you need to be able to reduce your speed, take your time, and drive more in your balance. That's really important, that you find your balance in your space. And by looking at my content, I will give you that balance in space. I always think of it, the defensive mindset, where you have to be safe, because we don't know the mindset. Someone lost a job. Maybe their loved one died. Maybe their dad or mom is going to prison. We don't know what emotions those drivers are carrying. And you accidentally cut them off instantly, they want to road rage. They want to turn into a Ken or Karen. So I'm trying to give you the defensive mindset, not to be scared, but everyone is different in their approach to learning. And some people aren't ready at 15 or 17 or 19, and that's okay. No one says, hey, you're 18, you need to be registered to vote. You need to be able to move out. Everyone has a different approach to learning. And I want all of you to know, who are looking at my content, and you should be looking at my content, and you must subscribe, because I'm going live every day. I want to give you value to really help, okay? And I want to continue, and some other good things are coming. Serious crashes is defined as a fatality. Someone died. Injury. You injured yourself, you injured someone else, you totaled your car. So it's hard enough to get into driver's ed. You've got to locate your birth certificate. Then you've got to sign up for a class, and they're very expensive, anywhere from $350 to $650 US dollars for a class. And we're talking about the United States. In some places, it's higher. You've got to get a job. You've got to save your money. And it's difficult. I've been reading a lot of comments about a lot of people who just don't have the support system. And my heart goes out for you. So if God is willing and if opportunity comes, I would love to help all of you in any way I can in securing a driver's education spot in the school, helping you get that process, because God works in mysterious ways. Next, when do crashes occur? 52% occur during the daylight hours. People are not paying attention. They're driving too fast. They're on the phone. They're drinking their coffee. They're not focusing. And you'll see people in the cars will drift to the right, they'll drift to the left, back off of that person. Again, I'm not living in a glass house. I am not perfect. But the more I see traffic, and it's me as a traffic slash driver's education teacher, it's my job and responsibility to make you a safer driver, to help you understand that you need to drive with space. I call it have good speed, have good space, and have a smile. And when you have a smile and you're balanced, you can deal with it. And if it gets too hard, then you can get off the expressway. You can pull onto a side street. That's why you have to have a supportive friend, cousin, parent, sister, brother, who's going to give you the support and not say, come on, you can do it. No one needs that pressure. Life is full of pressure already. The most dangerous time to drive for young people is between 2 and 5 p.m. They're getting out of school. They're going to work. People are leaving work. They're tired. They're going to run a light. They're going to cut off. So what I need you to do is have balance. Does that mean you avoid driving between 2 and 5? No. That means you take your time, you have balance, and you prepare mentally for driving at that time. 37% of young driver fatal crashes occur on Friday and Saturday night. People are partying. They just got their check. They're going to drink. So if you see bars or clubs, be aware. Leave space. Have a defensive driving mentality. And 9 p.m. to midnight, people are tired. They're going to fall asleep at the wheel. So different states have different laws for drivers under 18. They have to be home at a certain time. May is the most dangerous time for young driver fatal crashes. Okay? People are getting out of school, right? They're excited. Hi, how are you doing? Pleasure. We're talking about driving. We're talking about how do you prepare to get that license. You have to have a support system. You have to have someone who's willing to help you. And I want to help you. And I want to help you grow, locating the DMV, helping you get to that process. It's hard when you're by yourself. I've helped a group of 18-year-olds. They're graduating, getting ready to go to college. They don't have their license. Driving since I was 15. And you have to get that license because eventually you're going to get popped, right? You're driving dirty, right? You're going to not have your blinker on. You're going to have a burned out tail light. You do have to be careful. You do have to take your time. It is super important. And I just don't want to see anything bad happen. And I will never criticize anyone. I could tell you many stories of me teaching driver's ed in a large urban area, and I have drivers come into driver's ed. They have their own car. I'm saying to myself, oh, they got their own car and they're coming to driver's ed. So I'm not going to criticize. Everyone has a different approach. And some of you may have your car, okay? Some of you may have your car, but you don't have insurance. You got an expired license plate. You don't have registration. See, I just got my truck out from the shop. The insurance expired in December, right? It's February. I got my car home immediately, and then I had to go to the DMV. It was $305 for a new registration and tags, right? And that's real money. My truck is sitting at home. I'm not going to drive it right now. It drinks gas, but You've got to make sure. And then we just updated insurance. So don't set yourself up for failure if you don't have insurance. Your tags are expired. I know you're blending in. You got a gray or black car. No one's really going to see you. I just want you to be safe, and I'll pray for you, right? So may it's the most dangerous time. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. 69% of young driver fatals car crashes happen on country roads. Dirt roads are some of the most dangerous, and through my driving experience, we went into the ditch 4 or 5 times. When I first started driver's education, it was raining for a week. I'm a city guy. We drove to a country suburban area. The car sank down to the door. I'm inside, have my dress shoes on, shirt and tie, and I'm saying, I can't believe mud is up to the door. I had my students that we got out. We had to push the car out of the mud. Okay, so that's why I say have a tow rope, have some gloves, have some basic tools. Look through my content. I have some videos on that. 95% of young driver fatal car crashes happen at 55 or less. So you're cruising. Someone rear-ends you. You're less than 55. And you always want to be safe. I never want to say, oh, you're going to have an accident, because that's not the right positive mindset. Always positive. When you look at my content, and you should be subscribed. Having the ropes, yes, the car will go into the ditch, and then no one's going to pull you out. So I have the tow rope in the trunk. I have jumper cables, gloves, because my daughter's car stopped. Thank you. My daughter's car stopped, and Dad, I need some jumper cables. So I had to go back home, dying to get out. Yes, they are. So this is so true. So 6% young driver fatal crashes occur on the interstate. People are driving at a high rate of speed. And if the speed limit is 70, they used to go 5 over. That's 75. Now they're going 10 over. That's 80. Or some people are going 20 over. That's 90. So what do? Drive in the middle lane. If you're in the left lane, that's passing only. Okay? This was found down the road, the ditch. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. Anything I can do to help, interact, talk, I'm very passionate. And I appreciate all of you who are taking the time to listen. And I'm going to try to come on at the same time, just give you some information. I have a few more things. Curves are very dangerous. You've got to go in slow to the curve, because if you go out to the edge, you're going to hit those small side roads and you're going to slide off the road. Reduce your speed going into the curve. And it's okay to tell someone, hey, I'll be driving to Cedar Point. I'll be driving to Chicago. I'm driving to Ann Arbor. Communicate. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. I love you and appreciate you. Please look at my content and subscribe, and I'm here for you. The Easy Pass is good. You will definitely save money if you're traveling on those toll roads quite a bit. Subscribe, message me. I want to say bye and thank you. Bye, guys.